Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Grab and Go webinar called Packaging is the New Plating. This webinar is sponsored by General Mills Convenience and Food Service in partnership with Edward Don and Company and PacGive. General Mills Convenience and Food Service provides food people love away from home. We are proud to offer the quality products that food service professionals rely on for consistent results in their own operations, as well as the beloved brands their consumers know and trust. Our distinguished brand portfolio includes Big G cereals, Yoplait, Nature Valley, Gold Medal, and Pillsbury. Edward Don and Company was founded in 1921 and is a family-owned and operated leading distributor of food service equipment and supplies. With an unmatched product selection and nationwide distribution, they serve a vast network of businesses across a variety of segments, including independent restaurants, national chains, healthcare, hospitality, country clubs, schools, government institutions, and food service management facilities. At PacGive, continuous innovation has secured their place as the world's largest manufacturer and distributor of food packaging and food service products, supplying packers, processors, supermarkets, restaurants, institutions, and food service outlets across America. General Mills, Edward Don Company, and PacGive have partnered together on this webinar to share best practices for grab and go. So my name is Megan Kelwell. I am the Healthcare Channel Manager with General Mills, and I will be your host for the webinar today. Before we begin today's program, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping matters. So first, this webinar is being recorded. And second, at the end of today's webinar, we will have a question and answer period. You may submit questions at any time during the webinar by using the chat feature located on the lower left-hand corner of your screen. The recorded webinar, along with the presentation slides, will be available within a week on generalmillscf.com. And after the webinar concludes, you will be asked to fill out a short survey and will receive an email with links to the slides and the continuing education credit certificates within a week. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce our speakers in the order that they will be speaking. So our first speaker is Becca Picha. Becca is Non-Commercial Channel Manager in Marketing at General Mills Food Service. She brings over 7 years of experience within food marketing across retail and food service. Becca holds a bachelor's degree in strategic communication from the University of Minnesota. Next, we will hear from Lauren Grant and Christine Tasca. Lauren and Christine are national account and sales managers at PacGive. They have a combined 12 years of experience within the food service and food packaging industries. They specialize in packaging solutions for operators across every segment of food service. And next, we will hear from Mike Earle from Edward Don and Company. Mike is a dedicated and enthusiastic sales representative for Edward Don and Company. He brings 25 years of experience from the operations side of the hospitality and restaurant industry. His experience allows him to have a firm grasp on industry needs and the knowledge to solve real customer problems. And finally, we will hear from Chef Gilles Stassart. Chef Gilles has an extensive background in healthcare food service, banquets, hotels, fine dining, and in-home catering. Since joining General Mills in 2013, he has offered support, training, and inspiration to major food management companies, as well as operators within hospitals and senior living facilities. Gilles has held various positions at Michelin-recognized fine dining restaurants and hotels in Belgium, worked for the prestigious Minneapolis Club, the Marquette Hotel, and later joined the French food management company Sodexo as an executive chef for a large network of healthcare facilities. Gilles has a bachelor's degree in culinary arts and hotel and restaurant management from EHPN in Belgium. He is a certified culinary administrator, a certified executive chef, an approved certification evaluator, and is a supervisory manager in nutrition, food safety and sanitation continuing education certificate. Here is a quick look at today's agenda. So first off, Becca will share important trends surrounding grab and go in food service. Next, our packaging experts from PacGive and Edward Don and Company will highlight packaging solutions for grab and go. Then we will cover ideal products and attributes for grab and go, and we'll then turn it over to Chef Gilles and the General Mills Culinary Center for some grab and go recipe inspiration. Finally, we will wrap up by sharing some available resources and a question and answer session. And with that, I will hand it over to Becca to start us off with grab-and-go trends.
Thank you, Megan, and hello, everyone. I'm sure it's not surprising that there's been a rise in grab-and-go service since the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and I want to share some interesting data points from Data Essentials' IMFA report. This data highlights how we're seeing the grab-and-go growth come to life and what consumers are looking for in their grab-and-go products. First, I'll touch on snacking. Snacking was already growing prior to COVID-19, but the pandemic has propelled that trend even further. 39% of consumers say that they are eating more snacks since the pandemic hit. The snacking trend is especially relevant to grab-and-go as many snacks are portable and eaten on the go, and snacks can represent a grab-and-go menu opportunity beyond full meals. Within snacking, we're also seeing an emerging trend of micro meals. Traditionally, snacks have been treats between meals, but we're seeing a rise in consumers eating snacks for substance. This trend can be referred to also as snack batching, and consumers will comprise a complete meal entirely of snacks. And we're here today to focus on grab-and-go. Grab-and-go was common before the pandemic hit, but no surprise, there's been a rise in its popularity. This survey was completed in August of this year, and at that time, 63% of consumers had purchased grab-and-go food in the past 3 months. And amongst those folks, 36% of them are buying more grab-and-go, which leads us to an overall 14% increase in grab-and-go purchasing. In a time when overall traffic is down in many channels, capturing that growing 14% of grab-and-go purchasing is extremely important. So, what should you focus on for your grab-and-go offerings? Things like a fair price, great taste, and high quality are table stakes for consumers regardless of the occasion. What sets grab-and-go apart from other food offerings is the need for them to be fresh, craveable, portable, and easy to eat on the go. As you think about freshness, consider establishing optimal hold times for your prepared items, and also consider logging or time-stamping your items so they can be removed as needed. When you think of craveability, consider using sturdy packaging that gives clear visibility to what's inside. And if you aren't able to use clear packaging so consumers can see, consider what type of product photography you can display nearby to drive that craveability. Also consider how you plate your items and apply similar logic to how you would package those items in grab-and-go packaging. And lastly, portable and easy on the go. Chef Gilles will cover some recipes that are portable and easy for on the go. Handheld items like sandwiches are always a great option. And also consider anything that requires cutlery, napkins, or condiments, making sure you have those items nearby for consumers to grab, or so that it's included in the bag if you're pre-packing back of house. And as we look at why consumers choose grab-and-go over places like restaurants or home-prepared foods, grab-and-go is chosen over restaurants primarily for its convenient location. I know many of you on this call are non-commercial food service operators, and consumers are already in your facility because they live there, they're visiting someone who lives there, they have a medical procedure, amongst other things. Offering grab-and-go is a great way to maximize the consumer traffic that's in your facility. And when you compare it to at-home prepared foods, grab-and-go wins on time saving and cravings. You're saving consumers from doing the work themselves, and you're hitting on cravings they have in that moment. And I would recommend considering that in any messaging you do on social media, digital boards, or anything in your operation, highlighting the time that grab-and-go food will save them, and using images or using the food itself to drive that craveability. I also want to touch on the size of grab-and-go offerings. When purchasing grab-and-go, 70% of consumers opt for individual size servings. So as you think about the items you offer, they should be heavily weighted towards single servings. But it's also a good idea to consider that remaining 30%. Family size offerings will represent a smaller part of your menu, but they can help you capture that full market. When we turn it over to Chef Gilles, he'll cover some ways to offer family size grab-and-go offerings for consumers that they can bring home safely to share with others. And when we look at grab-and-go menu trends since COVID hit, we see the traditional and important snack and sandwich items at the top of the list. And where we're seeing change is we're also seeing operators offer more hearty items like side dishes, proteins, and complete meals. And again, Chef Gilles will cover recipes that span these menu offerings. And now I'm going to pass it over to Lauren Grant, a packaging expert from Pactiv, who will dive into some grab-and-go packaging solutions.
Thank you, Becca. Hi, everyone. Today, we will be diving into finding the perfect packaging solutions for you, and even more specifically, solutions geared towards the recipes of which Chef Gilles will be discussing later on. So to begin, we love to provide the best starting point in the packaging search, which is asking the right questions. As you can see on this slide, we've provided a few examples of different probing questions you can begin to ask in terms of what you're truly looking for. For example, will this be for hot applications, cold applications, or both? Do you need your food to be visible to your customer? Is clarity important to you, or do you need something that's microwave or oven safe? Lastly, another good question to ask maybe, is having sustainable packaging important to you as well? All of these questions are great starters for you as you begin the journey of finding the perfect packaging solution. So let's jump into our options. First, we have our solutions for cold applications. These are great for parfaits, pudding, yogurt, salads, sandwiches, you name it. You can even place ready-to-eat pre-made cinnamon rolls, waffles, and biscuits in the clear containers as well. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and there are even tamper-evident options available in case you're needing to provide extra security during transportation for your customer. This can be especially helpful in the grab-and-go segment. Another fun fact is that our cups have a one lid that fits multiple sizes. If you look on the bottom of our cup, you'll see a letter. And on the lid, you'll also see the same letter, letting you know that it's a match. One lid may fit 12-ounce, the 16-ounce, 20-ounce, and 24-ounce cups, which can be very helpful in the kitchen when preparing multiple orders. In addition, these clear containers and cups are made from recycled PET, meaning they have post-consumer recycled content in them, such as recycled water bottles. This makes the material a beginning and end-of-life sustainable solution. As mentioned, they're also recyclable, hold up to 120 degrees, and are made here in the United States. These are great if you're needing to provide a sustainable message. Not to mention, the clarity is superb. Moving on to our hot applications. These are all great for biscuits and gravy, breakfast sandwiches, waffles, cinnamon rolls, and more. Our one box holds up to 180 degrees and is made up of paper material. These boxes have optional vents to help food stay warm and have an easy and secure latch closure. In addition, the flat lid allows for you to place your nutrition label or logoed label on there as well for easy marketing. Now, if you're needing microwavable options, MFPP and dual color PP are great solutions that can hold up to 250 degrees and are even earth friendly. MFPP stands for mineral filled polypropylene, which means these products are made with 50% less plastic than the standard polypropylene container. They're microwave and heat lamp safe and are perfect for to-go waiting areas. They have optional vents, are top rack dishwasher safe and reusable. These containers even come in a 2 and 3 compartments if you're needing to separate your application. Our dual color polypropylene containers are great if you're needing a microwave safe option and visibility to the food so your customer can see what they've ordered. These too have optional vents to help keep food hot. They're available in a variety of sizes and compartments. They have a zip seal closure that provides leak resistance, and they even have a tearaway lid to improve eating experience. And lastly, for the hot application packaging solutions, we have our aluminum containers and pans. These are perfect for take and bake. So if you need your customers to take cinnamon rolls home or biscuits and gravy to cook later for a fun family activity, these are a great solution. So you can find all of these products and more on our new VPA app, of which you can download right now to your phone. If you open up your camera on your phone and point it towards the QR code you see on the screen, a link will pop up prompting you to download the app. This works for Apple, Android, and Windows devices. The Virtual Packaging Assistant, VPA, will ask you probing questions like we discussed earlier, such as, is this for hot applications or cold? Do you serve crispy food? And how important is clarity? It will then guide you to the best solutions that match the criteria you've provided. There's also a free search option in case you're wanting to bypass those questions at first. The VPA app has the ability to even search by location and find sustainable items that align with local guidelines if that is of importance to you. For example, if you live in Northern California, it may advise that polystyrene foam is banned. The app will then provide packaging solutions that are compliant with the restriction. And finally, you even have the ability to order samples directly from our app. They'll ship to you in 3 to 5 business days. So if you've seen something you like during this presentation and would like samples, feel free to request more information through our app. We will be able to connect with you further. You'll find links to our VPA app and our Pactive YouTube channel on the resource slide listed at the end of this presentation. Now I'll hand things over to Mike Earle from Edward Don & Company.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. As Lauren said, I'm Mike Earle, sales representative at Edward Don & Company. Today I'm going to introduce Eco Takeouts to you. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Eco Takeouts, these are a comprehensive solution for replacing single-use disposables that provide significant cost and weight savings over disposables with a rapid break-even point. Eco Takeout containers provide up to 1,000 uses per container with proper care and maintenance that are just as sanitary, if not more than disposables, and feature a complete suite of containers for nearly any menu item, including a soup and beverage option. So current users are finding Eco Takeouts to be easy to use and maintain with minimal work to transition from standard disposables. And GEP has and continues to introduce new sizes and products. And as for care, they're dishwasher safe in both high and low temperature machines. And so here on this slide, you're going to see the current scope of sizes and styles available. Most come in clear in the jade colored pictured. Custom logos are available with a minimum order. And some of the new products that we're showing here include a small half-size clamshell, 2 soft side dish cups in 6 and 12 ounces, a dine-in option, reusable food tray, think hot dog boats, French fries, chips, etc. And then coming soon, there's going to be an Eco Takeouts container return receptacle that'll assist in recovery of used containers, and also a bento box that is becoming more popular for complete meal delivery and grab and go as well. And then lastly, a pizza slice and a whole pizza that'll hold up to a 12-inch pie. So on the last slide here, you'll see a case study at a senior living facility, and it's going to show real-world results and return on investment numbers. So you're going to be able to see some success there pretty quick on your spend over disposables. And thank you for your time today, and we're going to pass it along to Becca.
Thanks, Mike. All right, now that we've learned a bit about how to package your grab-and-go items, I'm going to dive into what types of items you should put into that packaging. Generally speaking, there's some key attributes to look for in products that would be great for grab-and-go. As menus and order guides are consolidated, it's important to have items that you can use in different ways, so usage versatility is key. Understanding if the item can stand alone, can be integrated into a recipe, and can it work across different menu occasions or parts of the day. It's also important to consider sizes. As we discussed earlier, single servings are the biggest opportunity, but the ability to serve an item in a mini or in multiples for a family pack are great benefits for capturing additional grab-and-go occasions. Back of house shelf life and front of house hold time are also critical. It helps with inventory management and reducing your overall waste. We know, as we talked about earlier, freshness is important to consumers, so considering products and recipes that will hold up and look fresh. And we talked about what consumers are looking for in grab-and-go. Sandwiches and snacks rise to the top, so considering products that can be used as snacks or integrated with sandwiches, and then products that can be used for complete meals as well. And of course, craveability, we want it to be something delicious that consumers want to eat. So we'll be focusing on 3 product categories for today's webinar. I will walk through them now, and then Chef Gilles will go through some recipe ideas for them. And they are biscuits, cinnamon rolls, and yogurt. So up first, we have biscuits. Biscuits make for a great item on any menu for a number of reasons. Biscuits can be used in very versatile ways. They are a superior side bread. They do a great job at maintaining texture and better than many side breads like breadsticks or toast or bagels. and they make an excellent sandwich carrier. Matter of fact, they're consumers' #1 preferred sandwich carrier. And they also integrate well into many recipes, as Chef Gilles will demonstrate. And as we talk about grab-and-go competing with takeout from restaurants, it's important to note breakfast sandwiches are the #1 and fastest growing breakfast order at quick-serve restaurants. So menuing breakfast sandwiches at your non-commercial operation will help keep your consumer dollars on site versus going to those QSRs. And again, Biscuits are the #1 preferred sandwich carrier, so that would be a great way to menu your breakfast sandwich. And when we look specifically at Biscuits for grab-and-go, there's a number of attributes that stand out. Biscuits have exceptional hold time. As I mentioned, they hold up better than many alternative side breads. They have a high fat content, and that allows them to hold up well in sealed takeout containers. They're also really easily reheated, which allows you to prep ahead of time and also allows the consumer to heat up when they reach their destination. And Biscuits can be packed alone in a paper bag or a foil container, or they can also go in with other hot items and still maintain their good texture. And Pillsbury is the #1 brand in frozen biscuits. That's the product Chef Gilles will share later. Across the Pillsbury biscuit portfolio, there's a great variety of solutions for you. Many flavors available, including golden buttermilk, whole grain, or even some specific standalone flavor options like a garlic and cheddar. They also come in an array of sizes depending on the occasion you want to meet. And depending on what you're interested in for your operation, there's also benefits like reduced sodium, which is great for healthcare, or easy split biscuits that are great low labor solutions. And the second product we'll spotlight today is cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls also make for a great grab-and-go item for their usage and size versatility. They can be standalone items, they can be iced in many different ways, or integrated into recipes. They also come in a variety of sizes. The Pillsbury portfolio, which Chef Gilles will share, comes in as small as a mini size, which is less than 1 ounce, and all the way up to a 6.5 ounce roll. And we're seeing a rise of smaller indulgences since COVID, so those small portion cinnamon rolls can be a great way to capture that trend. And cinnamon rolls can also be a great item for take home to capture incremental sales and give consumers something to bring home to family or friends. Cinnamon rolls are also no longer just a breakfast item. We've seen many quick-serve restaurants leveraging cinnamon rolls across day parts. And we know consumers, we talked about that craveability. Consumers' purchases are driven based on impulse, and that's impacted by appearance and aroma. So whether it's visible within clear packaging or you have images displayed, cinnamon rolls can drive that craveability that attracts grab-and-go purchases. And then cinnamon rolls are also a large and growing segment within breakfast bakery, and we know the vast majority of food service operators rate them as very important to their operation. And when we look at cinnamon rolls specifically for grab-and-go, they are a great offering because they can be served in many ways. In addition to the size variety I mentioned, they can be served iced or frosted, or you can also allow consumers to do that themselves and serve them deconstructed. Cinnamon rolls can also be easily reheated. And again, similar to biscuits, cinnamon rolls have a higher fat and moisture content, which allows them to hold up better than other breads and sides in those high moisture carry-out containers. And a pro tip, if you glaze and frost your cinnamon rolls, it will increase your after-bake shelf life. And similar to biscuits, Pillsbury is also a leader in the cinnamon roll category as well. Across the Pillsbury cinnamon roll portfolio, we offer a variety of flavors, sizes, baking formats, and shapes, as you can see on the bottom of this slide. And the final product we'll focus on today is yogurt. Yogurt is a versatile item as well. It can be served as a standalone item, incorporated into parfait and smoothie applications, and it fits the trend I mentioned earlier called snack batching, where consumers are pulling together multiple snacks to create a meal. Yogurt delivers on 3 key benefits that consumers are looking for: taste, health, and convenience, which are all key to grab-and-go. And yogurt is traditionally thought of as a breakfast meal, but actually over half of yogurt servings are served across different occasions, such as lunch, afternoon snack, or dinner. And when we think about what makes yogurt great for grab-and-go, yogurt is very convenient and portable. It's also really easy to package and seal. Yogurt can be served easily in cups with a quick lid put on the top, whether you're serving yogurt on its own or integrating it into a parfait or smoothie. And yogurt has great back-of-house hold time if you don't use all of the products at one time. So speaking specifically to the General Mills bulk yogurt portfolio, our Parfait Pro product will hold up to 3 days after opening, so you don't need to use it all at one time. And we know the lead application for yogurt is parfaits, and once assembled, parfaits have excellent refrigerated hold time, which can help you reduce waste in your operation. And General Mills is the leading food service yogurt manufacturer. Our Parfait Pro yogurt that I mentioned is the #1 bagged yogurt, and it helps operators reduce waste and save on labor. Across that Yoplait Parfait portfolio, we offer a variety of flavors, styles of yogurt, and it gives you the ability to customize the portion of how much you're putting in and, of course, the application of what you'll use that yogurt for. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Chef Gilles, who will highlight these 3 products in our culinary center.
Hello, my name is Gilles Stassart, and I'm one of the corporate chefs here at General Mills. Thank you so much for stopping by today and to Grab and Go. I'm so excited to show you some different ideas using our great General Mills product that you can capitalize on to have some additional sales in these challenging times. So let's get started with our Pillsbury biscuit. So we're going to talk about a few different recipe ideas over here that you can use using our Pillsbury dough pucks. They are great, versatile product that will give you a consistent product throughout all the different applications that you're using in your operation. And it is also one of the product people love, as Pillsbury biscuits are always #1. So I'm going to just describe what we are going to do today. So first, we're going to do a simple biscuit breakfast sandwich because we know how popular those are. So we're going to do a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit sandwich. Then we're going to move to another extremely popular item, which is our biscuits and gravy. Finally, we're going to take one of these biscuit pucks and griddle it off in our panini press to make something totally different with our avocado toast and poached egg over here. And then the last recipe I'm going to quickly talk to you about is our biscuit bread pudding, which is a great application for you to use all of your biscuit leftovers so that you can capitalize on that money that would otherwise be lost. So let's get started. Here we go. So first I'm going to take, as I talked to you about this biscuit puck, what we did is we just placed it on a sheet pan overnight in the refrigerator, and we thawed it this way. And what I'll do is I will just place it on my panini press right here and close it up. You do not need to grease it, you do not need to spray it or anything, because the biscuit itself has enough fat. So it's going to take about 3 minutes, so we'll let that be while I move to another recipe. Let's go ahead and make that delicious sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Right here we've got our 3.17 ounce biscuit. It also comes in a puck version, and all I did was baked it and sliced it open to make the sandwich. Here's our eggs. And then finally our cheese. So very simple, just a few items that you will need. Over here we grabbed the Earth Choice container. That's really nice for this application because it will guarantee that your biscuit doesn't get soggy. So when you wrap it up, the moisture can migrate from your sausage and your egg into the biscuit. When you put it in a clamshell, you will avoid that. Make sure that you get one that is heat resistant. So all I do is I take my biscuit that I sliced, then I'm going to put my nice warm sausage, my egg, and finally a slice of cheese of your choice right here. And then I'm going to close it up and place it in my clamshell. Moving from here, it's very easy. You can either sell this to one of your customer right away, or you can place it in a hot box. Just make sure that your hot box is calibrated and it's got the proper amount of moisture if you're going to keep biscuits not assembled in there, or at least that it will be warm enough to have your biscuit nice and warm, but not too hot because you don't want anything to happen to your packaging. So very simple first recipe, our biscuit with the sausage, egg, and cheese. Let's take a quick peek over here at our panini. So you can see it's becoming nice and golden brown, but we want it a little bit more brown than this, so I'm going to close it back up for another minute. So let's quickly assemble our biscuit bread pudding. So as I told you earlier, all I did is I took my leftover biscuits and I diced them up so that they can incorporate some of the liquid that we're going to add on there. It's basically a custard, so you've got some milk, some eggs, a little bit of sugar, and then we also added some fruits and dried fruits like raisin. This recipe is available on our website at generalmillscf.com. And all you have to do now that your bread pudding is warm is I have a little bit of vanilla cream crème anglaise right here that I'm going to put at the bottom of our disposable clear clamshell. You always eat with your eyes first. So make sure that when you pick your packaging, you pick something that's going to make your customer want to purchase the product you created. Here is a slice of our bread pudding, and then I'm going to simply garnish it with a couple raspberries. But you can pick whatever garnish that you have in-house of your choice. And then simply close it up. And look how easy that was, and something else that you can use to upsell your tickets. I think that our avocado toast is definitely going to be ready now. So let's take a quick peek at it again. All right, beautiful. Nice and golden brown. For this application, I'm going to grab one of these reusable packaging, actually. So these can be used up to 1,000 times, I believe. So really great idea for the environment. And then I'm going to grab my biscuit panini right here. So as you can see, beautiful. By just griddling your biscuit puck, you've got this totally different recipe that you can use. I'm going to grab my prepared avocado guacamole here and put a nice layer of it at the bottom of my biscuit, as you can see. And then what I did is I poached an egg, so I'm going to grab this from here. There's a nice poached egg. Make sure that you remove all the extra liquid so that you don't end up with a wet mess in your grab-and-go container. There you go. Beautiful. And then finally, I'm going to garnish it with some sauteed mushroom, just to give it a little extra flavor and to make it a full meal. So as you can see, this is a really nice item for breakfast, but it can also be a great all-day item. So that's the thing with our biscuits. It doesn't need to just be a breakfast item. It can be breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. So there's unlimited ways to use it. I'll leave it open so that you can see it right here. And then finally, let's move to our last recipe, which is going to be our biscuits and gravy. I'm going to show that to you two ways. First, here are our biscuits. So same puck again. So all I did is placed it on the sheet pan, baked it, and here it is. And there's two ways I want to show it to you. This way, in this Earth Choice container, you can serve it just as is for immediate consumption. And then I'm going to show it to you in a foil pan too, in case you wanted to sell the biscuits and gravy for people to warm up in their own home. So here is my gravy I made using our gold medal gravy mix. For the warm at home version, I'm going to put it at the bottom so that when you place the biscuit on top, it doesn't get soggy and you can actually place it in the oven. We'll do a couple biscuits for this order. And then over here for the consume right away, the grab and go item, I'll put the biscuit on one side of the clamshell, and then I'll place my gravy on the other side so that they don't touch, and you can eat it by just grabbing pieces of the biscuit and dipping it in the gravy or the other way around. So as you can see, using two different disposable containers, you can have two different applications. So one of them you can sell for people to eat at home, and the other one in your regular format to be consumed shortly after you package it. So here it is, a couple ideas on how to use our Pillsbury biscuit dough in different great grab-and-go applications. All right, so now that we've done our Pillsbury biscuit recipes, let's move on to some great grab-and-go ideas using our Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. So just like the biscuits, we have them in all types of different sizes, and we also make them in two different formats. We've got the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls as the thaw, proof, and bake, and we also have them as place and bake items. So for the purpose of this webinar, we're going to talk about the place and bake items. And I have a couple of examples right in front of me of what we are going to do. So first and foremost important is a cinnamon roll, right? If you're going to eat a cinnamon roll, you may as well just make a plain cinnamon roll to start with. So I'm going to show you how to glaze and ice this so that you can have a great shelf life with it when you sell it as a grab-and-go item. Moving forward, we're going to show you the versatility of it, and I'm going to put one of these small 1.5 cinnamon roll in the waffle iron and make some delicious waffles. And then finally, we're going to make some French toast using our leftover cinnamon rolls. And I will also show you a couple examples of how you can package these items. So let's get going. So first off, right here, I've got my preheated waffle iron. So I'm going to lightly spray it on both the bottom and the top. And I have over here some of the 1.5 ounce cinnamon roll. I'm just going to place one of them in each triangle. That way you can make 4 of them at the time. So it's a good use of your time. You don't need to waste too much of it by just doing one at a time. We're going to close this iron, and it's just going to take about 3 to 4 minutes, and it will be ready to serve. So we'll let this bake. Next, I want to show you a tray right here of our cinnamon roll. So what I did is I just took our pucks and I placed them on a half sheet pan right here, and we baked it. I rotated it halfway through, and right as they came out of the oven, I glazed them over here with a little bit of, you can either use simple syrup or you can use corn syrup that you thin out with a little water. And all I did was glaze the top and then make sure that you hit the sides too. What this will do is lock in the moisture. So think about it. You've got your cinnamon roll. It's nice and warm coming out of the oven. You glaze it, and then the moisture is stuck in there, and it will extend the shelf life drastically. It will prevent it from drying out. Next, what I want to show you, so now our cinnamon rolls have cooled slightly. I want to take some of our gold medal icing that I just melted in the microwave. You put it 15 seconds, stir it another 15 seconds until it's nice and melted. All right, and we're going to glaze them such as this. You just take a spoon, dip it in, and then you go up, and you just slightly drizzle them, and you go like this, following your pan. You could also use your hand. If you have, let's say, 10 sheet pan, you can dip your whole hand in the melted icing, wearing gloves, obviously, and then you ice them like this, string ice them. So this is the string ice. What you can also do is grab one of your cinnamon roll and dip it right in the melted icing, and then make sure you get all the excess off of it, and then you turn it over and let it kind of fall on the side of your cinnamon roll. So now that I've showed you how to ice it, in a few minutes the icing will be nice and hard again, but we want to show you how to package it. So to make sure that people are interested of buying it, I recommend a see-through shell in this particular case. And all you have to do is grab one of them, place it in the shell, and then close it up, and you are ready to go. So this is a super easy way to do it, but very important. Make sure you do the glazing part, and then for the icing, you can either dip them or string ice them. So there you have it for a plain cinnamon roll. Next up, I'm going to change my gloves quick. Whoops, there you go. We're going to look at our waffles. So let's open the waffle iron. Ooh, as you can see, they are beautiful, nice and crisp, a little golden brown at the top. So all you need to do is grab tongs, and you can get them off the iron really easily. But let's talk about the grab-and-go options for this. So as always, you eat with your eyes first. So I decided to do like more of a shareable cinnamon roll waffle occasion right here. So I've got our bigger grab-and-go Earth Choice container. I've got some berries. I have a little bit of syrup, maple syrup right here. And now we are ready to build a little bit of an upscale dessert. Not one of the things to realize too is that because you're making food easy to grab and go and take with you, doesn't mean that you need to pack them up in a tiny container. So we can grab a little bit of a larger one right here. And I plate it just like if I were using a plate. So we've got our waffles. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of syrup right on top. There you go. And then I'm going to garnish it with some fresh berries right here. What you could also do is put a little dollop of whipped cream right here. But try to make it look as beautiful as you can, because this way, not only will your customer be happier, but it will also be something that you can charge more for. So there you've got it. A nice shareable waffle cinnamon roll dessert. You've got about 4 of them. So it's good for 2 people. I'll leave it open so that the steam doesn't fog up our window right here. Moving on to our next recipe, we have the cinnamon roll French toast. So there we have it. Great recipe using your leftover cinnamon roll. So all we did is we took the cinnamon roll, split it in half, then we dipped it in your traditional French toast batter, if you will, which is egg and milk. And then you can add some spices of your choice if you'd like. But just like the waffle, let's make this look wonderful. I'm going to grab more of a clamshell this time around. And I'm going to place my French toast at the bottom. There you go. It depends how big of a dessert you want it to be. You could get away with 2 pieces for breakfast. But then, once again, if you're going to sell this to be shared, you can add a couple more. I'm going to do 4 for this purpose. Also, what you can do is sell them by the piece. So you let your customer decide, do they want 1 slice of French toast? Do they want 3? Do they want 5? And then, just like previously, just make sure you have a little garnish for this to make them look appealing. What we are going to do as well, once again, is do a little syrup. But in this particular case, I'm going to put it in a little cup on the side so that people can decide how much of it they want. So here I have it, a little 2-ounce side cup. I'll put about 1 ounce of syrup in there, and then a couple raspberries once again as a garnish. And there you have it, a beautiful cinnamon roll French toast that you were able to assemble using your leftovers. So no wasted money in this operation. One of the things you can do too is sprinkle with a little powdered sugar. I know that people like that. Moving on, I am just going to show you some additional ideas on how to package the cinnamon rolls. So one of the ways you can do this, and here let me grab it quick, is to make it more of a grab and go to enjoy with your family and make it somewhat of an activity. So over here, we've used a foil round container, and I baked some of the 1.5 ounce cinnamon roll. We've got the lid that we can put on top of this. And then if you package some icing on the side, so this one is just our gold medal icing, but it's not been melted, so as you can see, it's creamy. And just give the directions on how to melt it. Now the parents can decide to ice the cinnamon rolls with their children and make it kind of a little bit of an activity for them. So just warm up the cinnamon roll and then ice them as a family. And then, of course, to capitalize on more sales, there's some different ideas here once again on how to package them. So you can package them already iced. We've got 9 of them here. You can package them uniced right here. But using all these different clamshells, you can touch on all your customer base. So is it someone that's alone, that wants a French toast or just a cinnamon roll? Or is it more something that you want to sell as a shareable or as a family or just as people want to get together safely, they can enjoy some of these dishes with our cinnamon rolls. Okay, so now that we've done some biscuit recipes, some cinnamon roll recipe, let's move on to our yogurt. So we're going to use our Yoplait Parfait Pro Vanilla Yogurt. If you're not familiar with this product, it comes in a bag. It's got a slit over here that you open, and it's ready to pipe in whichever recipe application you're going to use. So I'm going to show you how you do that. But what we are going to do is a parfait recipe, so super simple. I'm going to show you that a couple different ways. Then I'm going to just talk briefly about peanut butter mousse, how you can do that. And finally, we are going to make a blender-less smoothie in case you're trying to serve smoothies to people but don't have a blender or don't have a blender big enough. I'm going to show you a really easy way to do a tasty blender-less smoothie. So let's get started. First, our parfait. I'm going to get our nice Earth Choice cup over here. We've got the lid, we've got the insert and the cup. I'm also going to pipe a family-size parfait. So you've got a bigger cup, it's more of a salad bowl, a grain bowl, I believe, container, but it would be great for this application. And then we have some of our parfait topping, strawberry, blueberry, and our delicious Nature Valley granola. Let's get started. So over here at the top, you can see the bag is perforated. So what you're going to want to do is just take one of your end, hold the bag with the other end, and just open it simply. And then over here, you've got the spout. So you want to just pull over the spout. There you go. And then this is the size you want to pour from. We are going to hold the bag in the middle, and then just start pushing from the back. And then here is our parfait. So I'm going to do 2 layers, so I'll fill it up to here. Same thing with our family one, or like shareable parfait right here. Or it could also be for multiple meals. So whatever you see fit in your particular case. Then we're going to do a few of our freshly cut strawberries. Same thing over here. Then I'm going to do another layer. Same thing, end in the middle, push from the back. We'll do the second layer. Here you want to make sure that you have enough room for your fruit and your granola insert. And then same right here. There you go. Your bag, if you don't finish the entire thing, you can just take the low excess from here and then kind of drag the yogurt to the bottom of the bag. And there you go. It's ready to store in your fridge without making a huge mess. And there you go. I'll clean my hand from that little extra. And then we are ready to do our second layer. So we'll add some more of our fruit. Right here, some strawberries. And then some blueberries. There you go. Make sure you leave room for that insert again. Here you can finish it up by topping it, making it beautiful. Then you've got the low insert. You just grab some of our Nature Valley granola, fill it up. Then you can drop it right there and finish it up with your lid. And there you go. You've got a beautiful parfait in just a minute. The advantage with the bag too is that you can make like 12, 24 of them in no time. So really time saver right here. Now moving on to our peanut butter mousse. Basically the recipe is extremely easy. It's yogurt, and it's on our website, but it's yogurt with some non-dairy whipped topping mixed together and peanut butter. And what I'm going to show you here is how to kind of upscale this recipe. So you can either sell it in a cup like this, garnished with a little non-dairy whipped topping. We did some candy on top, or you can plate it, which is what I'm going to show you now. So I did some of the peanut butter mousse in a bag. We have a bigger clamshell right here that I'm going to use. And then we're going to make a brownie dish. So we have here some delicious Pillsbury brownie that I'm going to put in the center. Then I'm going to take my bag with my peanut butter mousse and just cut the tip off. And then I'm just going to garnish my brownie with a nice big dollop of the peanut butter mousse right here. There you go. And then a little bit of cups right here as garnishes. And there you see it. You kind of mix two products that you may already have in hand and make it look really nice and fancy for a great upscale grab-and-go concept. you can put the lid and sell that right away. Here you go. And then finally, last but definitely not least, we have our blender-less smoothie. So all you need is a few cups to serve it in. We've got our lids that have the straw all in it. We've got a couple straws right here. And then you've got the different ingredients you'll need right here. So let's grab another bag of our delicious Yoplait Parfait Pro yogurt. For the recipe, I'm doing half of it, so we'll only need half of the bag, but the recipe on our website is designed for an entire bag. So I'll measure half of it. There you go. Perfect. And then all we do is add a few more ingredients. So we've got some apple juice right here. There you go. We've got some cinnamon. Perfect. And then our applesauce. The applesauce will give a little bit of the texture you are expecting in a regular smoothie. So important ingredient. We've got our little spatula and whisk right here. Here's the sauce. And all you have to do is stir it together until the cinnamon is well incorporated into the yogurt. There you go. Just a couple more turns. Perfect. So now we are going to portion it up. I have one of our Earth Choice cup right here. One of the lid with the straw all and a straw. So all I have to do is put it right in here. And there you have it. All you have to do now is cover it with one of your lid with the straw all and put your straw in. And there it is, ready to enjoy. So in just a few minutes, we were able to create an array of different recipes using our Yoplait Parfait Pro yogurt. And trust me, they are all delicious. So give them a try. Okay, now that we have talked about our Pillsbury biscuits, cinnamon roll, and our Yoplait yogurt, I just wanted to show you a few additional items that we have underneath our Pillsbury brand, and they are all individually wrapped. All you have to do is thaw them and serve them. Some of them, you can also warm them up in the oven, in the hot box, or in the microwave. So I wanted to take a moment to thank you for stopping by today. All of the recipes we demonstrated will be sent to you after this, but you can also go on our website at generalmillscf.com to find hundreds more recipes. Thank you and have a fantastic day.
Thank you, Chef Gilles, for that amazing culinary inspiration. In closing, I just want to share a few resources with you. I've seen a couple of questions in the chat box. There will be the recording of this webinar along with the slides will be available on our website. And they will also we'll include a link to you when we send a post-webinar recap email. So you will receive the slides and you'll have access to all of these links, but I just want to highlight a few. In that recap email, you will also receive a free case offer from General Mills, and we invite you to leverage this offer to check out one of the products that we featured today, give the recipes a try, and build up your grab-and-go menu. And then we also have, from General Mills, have a number of grab-and-go resources available, including a few grab-and-go recipe collections. And then we have some single-serve product resources available to you as well, and some money-saving rebates. And on the Pactive side, I wanted to highlight, they spoke earlier, Lauren shared the virtual packaging assistant app to help answer all of your grab-and-go packaging questions. So make sure you check that out to help decide which packaging items are best for you or for the specific items on your menu. And that QR code, I saw a question in the chat as well about the QR code, that will be included in the slides that we send out, so you'll be able to get back to that as well. And as Chef Gilles mentioned, in the slides we'll have links to all of the recipes that Chef Gilles shared, so if you are interested in making any of those specific recipes, you will have access to them.
All right, thank you, Becca, Lauren, Mike, and Chef Gilles for that great content. And now let's begin our Q&A period. So we have already received some great questions, so thank you all for your participation and engagement. And as a reminder for those of you who would still like to submit a question, please use the chat feature located in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Kind of housekeeping question, but one of the questions that we've seen come in is, will this presentation be available after the fact? And yes, it will. We will send a recording of this as well as the slides afterwards. And then another question for the presenting team. What type of items would you recommend packaging as single serve versus multi-serve?
Hey, Megan, it's Gilles. Thank you for the question. And thanks everyone for joining us today. I hope you get some good information from all the presentations. So I guess it really depends what item you're trying to sell is what I would say. Some of them make sense, some of them don't make sense, and also the way it would reheat at home, or is it a cold item? So I would say cold items are definitely something that you can serve as a bigger, larger portion that you can eat over multiple meals, for example, or share with your family at home. And for the single individually wrapped items, I would definitely focus on those that do not reheat well multiple times, for example. So like dishes with sauce would be something that you may want to consider packaging in an individual portion. That way, if you can't eat it all, for example, nothing is being wasted. So, but then in our big good portfolio, for example, the cinnamon rolls, we have them in different sizes. So if you're making it even just for 2 people, you can pick a smaller size and bake a couple more. And that way, people really enjoy that poppable, taking multiple bites of a small cinnamon roll, for example, and still feel good about eating it. Hope this answers the question somewhat.
Perfect. Thank you, Gilles. One additional question here. Do you have any guidance on how to price grab-and-go menu items?
I can take that, Megan. This is Becca. I think I wish there was a magic ball, but I can give you the guidance we have. In the grab-and-go trends that we covered at the beginning, consumers expect a fair price, and that's something we saw regardless of if it's for grab and go or for in-operation dining. So I would say keep it in line with the rest of your offerings, but consider if you're offering those same items on site and grab and go, it might be a little disconnected if they're priced differently. So if you do want to upcharge for the additional cost, just consider keeping that flat across. But think about things like the packaging costs and any additional labor for packaging up those items, and make sure you're factoring that into your price. And then just balance that with any consumer expectations, like I mentioned, for anything you have in-house. So make sure you're accounting for those costs on packaging and labor, but not having anything outrageous, because consumers expect a fair price regardless of if it's in-house or grab and go.
Perfect. Thank you, Becca. Next question here. I'm not sure what packaging will work best for me. Is there somewhere we can go to order packaging samples?
Hi, this is Lauren from Pactive. I'll start off with this one. So absolutely, you can actually, once you download our VPA app, so again, you can use the QR code in the presentation here, or you can even go to your app store and search Virtual Packaging Assistant. And it'll allow you to download it right there. And once you're, in the app, exploring it a bit and selecting and creating a list of the items specifically that you like or that you would like samples of, you'll actually be prompted a button that says Get Samples. And from there, you can even input all your information. And once our team receives that, it's 3 to 5 business days, and they should be at your door delivered. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And one last question to round this out. I think this is for Chef Gilles. How did you get the cinnamon rolls in your video to rise up so well?
Yes, thank you for the question. Really, so what I use is our place and bake cinnamon roll, so it doesn't have the proofing step in it, and that's just the way they look. So you just take them from frozen on a sheet pan to the oven, and they look just the way they did. So I don't do anything special, just use the plate and bake.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. And thank you all for the great questions and your time. And now it is time to wrap up today's webinar. So as mentioned earlier, you will be asked to fill out a short survey at the conclusion of this program, and we'll be receiving an email shortly that will include links to the slides presented today, the continuing education certificates, and a free case offer from General Mills. Lastly, be sure to watch your inbox for future webinars and free continuing education opportunities from the General Mills CNF team. This concludes today's program, and you may now disconnect. Thank you so much.